daidzai 2 yezotaura nyaya ndasanokutumira nhasi masikati nhasi tete Flo vari pano, so we are on fire, come takakumirira kuti muuye please, uyai toda kutaura neana baba vanoona mwanasikana senzimai. Inyaya yanga ichongondirwadzawo kuti you know what tete Flo, nyaya idzi ndedzokuti ini chikura 810, this is 50 years ago, half a century ago. I heard it being talked zvichiitika nguva yehondo iya kuma70 and vamwe baba vadzinga mudzimai wangatochembera nzi vachiuruzve wangatokuma70 something over ma80 kwakuramba mukadzi kwakutora mubvana anga adzoka kubva kunonzwi kumapurasi kwanga akarorwa baba vata nemudzimai nemubvana uyu ndomba vaita mwana aita nhumbu, even she was even in her 40s but akaita nhumbu nababa ndomba vaita mwana. Makomrades amva auya ndonguva yehondo yasvikanzi makuna muri kutiitira ndira kuti atitadze kuhwina chi hondo. Why muchiita zvinhu zvakadai mashura akaita so vavaurayiwa nemakomrades baba vacho. Zvikanzi mwana uyu azvarwa uyu anoti chii kwamuri, agoti chii kuna mai vake, ndisisi here kana kuti ndimai. What is this confusion you are bringing? Chii mwana uyu akazozvisiya ndo zvakazoitika apa anozvisungirira because naiye anenge ari confused kuti so ukafunga kuti this thing ndakainzwa nyaya ndine 10 years old asi zvino mukore uno zvichiri kungoitika, this is half a century later and things are still happening. Why is it not stopping? Why?
Because a pedophile, once a pedophile, always a pedophile. That's one thing chisingagadziriki. Even kuno kwakazvitraya kuti vanovapinza vachibabudisa ka, but they actually know that they can't be cured. It's they have to monitor them. That's why unlike everybody else, there's a register for pedophiles. But upon a register, murderers or whatever, kana wasvika unofunga unoregister kuti wanga uri mujere, you were a murderer. Once you've saved your time, you've saved your time. But pedophile never. You're on the register until. And if I'm white, it's something I think Wakatanzi, it's a bit inhumane, Chichi. They were asking them to write a castration, but not but chemical castration, not castration.
Okay.
It's a chemical. No, so that they don't get the feelings. Because one is important, so that what's my feelings are sexual.
But then anokasese feelings sexual nyango kune mumwe munhu futi wemukadzi, they can't even marry anyone.
But they are not really attracted anyway. To like older women. A lot of them are not attracted to older women. Can only attracted to either boys, little boys or little girls, or some are attracted to just children, whether it's a boy or a girl. Some are attracted to just little girls. And umanoto ane age range yake. Once mwana maybe akapfura 11 achamudi.
Achada mudiki. What causes those ages? For me, I really was looking forward kuti ndione ndingawana here interview yakaitwa anyone. Did you ever see anything like that? Couldn't you interview yakaitwa somebody who is maybe
I think there's probably my interviews akaitwa, especially like one way FBI India Chichi vaita my interviews ne vanhu vakadaro. But I think I've seen some of I like watching crime programs. Like I've seen where they've done interviews with my pedophiles, they've done interviews with my serial killers, and so on. But what I've seen from watching my crime films, my true crime, is that pedophile, I paid with a pedophile, just like my rapists.
It's in them. Is it like in the DNA or something?
It's something to do with something to see, right? Like why started the brain in my serial killers and all that. So they found that there's something what they say frontal lobe. There's some sort of way that it is. And then the bane pattern anotangari mwana maybe achuraya muka just for fun. It's fun just to kill. And then escalator until atanga kuraya vanhu.
Chinondinetsa njokuti kusvika pakuita mwana wokutanga, kuita mwana wechipiri, kuita mwana wechitatu. Okay, where is the mother?
No.
Mai varipi?
But muzeka kuti vanoti hanzi most children are molested by somebody they know.
Ehe.
and trust. Pane actually, yeah, pane case iriko iko zvino, I think it's Russian, right? The men vakadecida kusamucharger nemurder because what happened is anga nebest friend yake, and then found a video on his best friend's mobile phone raping his 6-year-old daughter yake this guy. So he went mad and attacked his friend because he couldn't believe it. I trusted you. You were my best friend. And andisingazivi kuti ndiri kunzwa nyoka mumba. And he ended up killing this guy, his friend. Saka iye anoti no, ndakaenda ndikanomudigisa grave because I wanted him to scare him. So he made him dig his own grave. And then he said, but pandakamudigisa grave, he then attacked me with a knife. Tikarwa. And then he died. But he buried him. And then after some time, some weeks, I think he then went to the police
to report
kuti my friend, because he was missing. So chakaitika ndezvizvi. I found ndakamuwana. Saka the wife said yes, I found them fighting. Vakatanga kurwa mumba. And this is what, and then he showed me the phone. And he showed the police phone, your friend, everything, evidence. So people then said he cannot be charged with murder because aseva vana vedu.
From
So they've dropped murder charges, but now they are going to charge him with something else, but less. So it's somebody that you trust. That person, amuno, that uncle. Give an example. Mufamily yedu tatine murume wavatete. Sanda ndina watete 2. Kuside kwa date wangu. One was okay. The other one
was a touchy feeling.
3 vasikana waiziva as young as 6, 7. You knew not to pass close to him. Waibatwa mazamu, wherever you could touch. Whether you were 6, 7, 8, he didn't care.
But the thing is, vari kuona vanenge vachisiya anozviita asingaonekwe nevakuru.
Vanga vasipo vakuru because aiti ndoda kunodya kune varamu vangu what, and parents were innocent, not knowing that this guy is taking it serious. Saka isusu tisingakwanisi kuenda inozoti African culture kuti uenonouza mai vako kuti this is what is happening, because we are put, there's a barrier that is put between you and your parents and the things that you can discuss. Saka vasikana tese taicomplaina, but we're complaining amongst ourselves. Because from 6 years to 18 tese saka aiuya kwatinonga tiri isusu vasikana tega, and then we have to vakuru vaibika and then save him chichi. Saka but used to make sure vese vakuru vanonga vari vese somewhere else, kitchen maybe anambuya isusu kuno kutiri tega, no boy, no vakomana vanga vaenda vega kweso. Saka tatiri tega, no adult. Saka he'd never do it when he was an adult.
So never. They always do it. They do it smart. But what I'm asking more is problem. This thing is going on and on. It's not like stopping. And I have a few videos and I told about YouTube. So I'm going to clip, and you can see it's across the globe. I was looking for one for Zimbabwe and the Kataza, but in Dudakuita refer to biblical references. I swear never panons pa Korah. You know Korah and it. Genesis. Sorry. You know Yevana Valoti.
Yeah.
But you see, Vana Valoti, Lot's daughters, Vana Valoti yaka explain wagunzi, vakaita izvozvo nokuti ivo pachavo sezvo vakanga vabviswa muSodom neGomora, Gomora yatsva. Their belief was humankind race
is finished.
Saka tikasatodai, there will be no continuance. Sezvo ivo vachete vanga vabuda mai vavo vapinda munonzwi
a pillar of salt.
Like a pillar of salt. So for biblical, saka even the question yangaendosana ndekuti, did God allow incest?
No, because muka follow a story actually, you found that the Moabites, Nima Ammonites, they were the descendants of Vana Valoti, and those people were cursed.
they were case. So
because the
vari
father
kuita
killed them.
zvino vachirara nevana vavo, you know, I mean, all people know about vanoverenga Bible, you know about the Lot's daughters kuti vakaidhakisa baba vakarara navo. Kwanoa kwaive nevasikana zviyaka futi.
No.
Kwaive nevakomana.
Noah had sons and their wives.
Sons and their wives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they were a family of 8.
Because vakaona nakedness chete yababa vavo.
Mukomana.
Okay.
But there is a theory that he didn't just see his father's nakedness, he did something sexual to his father.
Oh, okay.
Some have a theory that they say, biblically, kuti, that's why the father was so mad. That it wasn't just the fact
he cursed people.
Yeah.
He cursed them.
So he cursed then my descendants. I never remember if it's him or Shem or who, but
vana vanowa vasina mutemo, vana vanowa vasina mutemo, vana vanowa vasina mutemo, vana vanowa vakaseka baba.
No, one ndiakaseka. Vamwe vakamhara kudaro. So the one who closed the father's shame is the one who was blessed and put above the one who shamed the father. Evening, happy Sunday.
Thank you. Saka, so the question we have is, why is mwana, is it okay? Let's start back kuti mwana kana ari kukura zviya vana vadiki vaya, what age should your girl child or even boy child stop coming to sleep in your bed, or daddy playing with the child sitting on the lap, especially girl? What age do you think that is where?
As soon as a child starts talking, apafangu kuita any intimacy with different sex. So like I remember I had a friend who was still bathing with her son who was 2 or 3, and I was telling her, you can't do that because akutaura, akuziva more, is more aware of things. But when they're a baby, it's different. And she stopped because he then pointed and said something. So I said, that is exactly why
I told you.
Because akuziva kuti there's a difference between daddy, if he's bathing with his daddy, if he baths with mom. I know
mama.
Why? Or why am I different from you, mom? I said that you are causing that. So mwana once akutanga kutaura, you can't do things like that. I know sometimes
like, all right, kokana, let's say, you know, sometimes, you know, when you talk kumusha dzimba apana dzimba dzacho mukuroja nevana vanorara imomo. I think pakadaro, it's like vabereki should know about decency, you know, try to preserve decency yavo in nakedness. And also when you are meeting the two of you, muchirara nevana mumba kusina room dzacho dzokunzi vana vanorara, because some people even become intimate mwana aripo pamubhedha vanomisa this other side. It's wrong. Akave mwana musikana kana kuti mukomana, and nyaya yekuti mwana anorara nababa vacho akadai and what, I don't know where is that where the red flags come from, and I don't understand that intimacy.
No. I think sometimes chakunesa nachokuti, I think because of the few men who are not okay or the few women who are not okay, we are now putting my boundaries on natural fatherhood, because a natural father will play with the child, whether it's a boy or a girl, wachitandaniza or picking up and throwing up, it's natural. Or spending time alone. I used to spend time with my dad fixing a car.
Okay.
3-2 garage. Njiwa pa tools and so on. So I think sometimes we run a risk of tunozonyanya kuita, like what they do now. If you are a man alone and they find you sitting in a parking area, wanotaka kuvunza as if you're a pedophile, because that's what pedophiles do.
But you know, Auntie Flo, it's not happening muno mcheto, right? Muno mukudzinogara mupaki.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Macases ari apa ekuti kumusha unosara pamusha mai vafamba, let's say kuvaenda kumusha kwavo kumaruzeva, mai vosumuka kuenda kumusha kwavo kwaitika nhamo or something, mai goes away, baba vanosara pamba vachitora mukadzi mwana kumuita mukadzi.
But that is not kuti situation yadaro So the father had that. How many men have been become widowers? Mukadzi afa, vakasara nevana, and they didn't do anything. The problem is not kuti kwaitika situation kuti mai avapo, because even mai varipo vanogona kuti mai vaenda kubasa vosara vachirara mwana. So the problem is there is something that is not right in that person's
pane andoda kuisa
makeup.
panapa ka ndeyekukenya. You can see kuti the mom is also crying sort of. Mwana akasvika pakuswa mwana nababa handiti, and I didn't know. Chinonzi nyangwe anenge akaudzwa kunzi ukangodai chete I'll kill you. Saka nyangwe kanzi nhumbu ndiani haatauri. But kuzosvika pakuzvara vana 3, this one had only one child anyway. Mumwe wandaona apa ndokusouth Africa, handina kusangana yekuzimbabwe, but I know it is there, it's happening. And I didn't see anything online. Maybe next time. But wese vandasangana wechirungu uyo nevechi, do you know it was all cases of that coming up there? But apa ndoku Kenya, she akaitwa abuse na baba. And there was another one from South Africa, I think. She says she has forgiven him. Our baba of South Africa vakaiswa Gire, and he will be coming out anytime. But she says she has forgiven him, because she found that iye kusafuta forgive. You are the one who continue to the other person. So for you to move on, you need to forgive. Because if you don't forgive, you are going to be stuck in the same rut for a long time. Saka you forgive, but can you forgive? Showani baba vakuzvarisa vana vatatu. Aini panozvarwa vana kusvika pa3 ndo pandisinganzwisisi.
That's nothing. There's a case here called America. A person who was quite famous. He was, I think, either music director or something like that for the Fugees. A channel producer. He was a producer, music producer, and he worked with my groups. I say Fugees. Okay, he akaitisa mwanake 5. The firstborn girl. 5. I think she had 5 pregnancies, 4 surviving kids. Right? So, and she's the one who was telling the story. So it started when she was 8 or 10 or 11 or something. And he used to say, akataura, hokoyo. And then she said, mamacho akanyuma. And then the mom found out. The mom tried to go mad. He beat the crap out of the mother. The mother from then kept quiet.
And allowed him to continue. Why can't they run away? If it's like
he was very controlling, the guy. So he was abusive, very. He was abusive anyway. So everybody was controlled. So nobody went to school. Nobody went anywhere. So you were all controlled. They
were in prison.
Yeah. So she said at one, and this is a person and they want like music well known in American music industry.
Respected even.
Yes. And then and then she said one time they went out with the mom, and then she decided that day she was running away, she's had enough. She said she packed her things, but her younger brother and younger sister vakamtevera kati ukuendepi, uri kutisiya, who's going to look after us and protect us? So she said she then stayed.
No, but vakanga vasina kuvharirwa mumba. That's one thing. They were still in the house when he was doing his work as a music producer. Ndopandoti, is it a set of the mind?
It's the same as domestic abuse. You control the mind, and the person, it's all consuming the fear. And then how he started controlling it was, I'll do it to your younger sisters. So she now started letting him to protect her younger sisters. But later then found out that no, it didn't protect her younger sisters.
You are still going into the still going there as well.
But that's how they do it. So to protect the other one, they'll agree. So she ended up having 4 kids. And how he was caught, he ended up in prison. How he was caught was mwana akarwara. Nokubva vaenda ku hospital. And then he pretended that the girl was his wife. His wife was her mom, his mother-in-law. But the hospital was a bit There's something not right. And he was hovering around her, not allowing her to talk or do anything or say anything. Like they couldn't question her or do anything. So Waka knew what there's something that's not right. And then the kids were undernourished, were malnourished,
Wow.
and so on.
Whoa.
So then they brought child protection services in. So they said, no, there's something that is going on here. And then Novaita DNA test, only to find out he's the father and the grandfather. So he's the father of the mother and the father of the kids. Wakava And then she confessed to yes, this is what has been going on, only to find out that she didn't protect her siblings. So she said, I love my kids.
Yeah.
I've not put it on my kids. I separate that. I love my kids. So then he's gone to prison now. And she was 20 something when it ended.
Whoa. But the thing is, okay, apa mai vacho tried and she was beaten. Ndikutry kuti ndione kuti since inenge iri in Swahili nema-subtitles of this girl, ndaida kuti pamwe
Disay nini Moisa ita bigger. Ita feel a screen so that you can see.
I don't know.
The sub screen.
No feel say ndamboda kuisa pa this like that. But
can you see that screen there? Iyo purchase on YouTube.
On
Make
YouTube.
it, yeah. Can you see the square that is at the end? Okay. Like chichiri proper square. Next.
Icho.
Okay, that's fine.
I think okay. All right. Yeah. Let's see, but it means vara sort of.
It's fine. No, it's fine.
For now, we'll talk.
No, you can't see the subtitle. Oh yeah, you can at the top.
I think guys, you need to read the subtitles because
you can't see the subtitles, auntie.
Oh, because yakurisa
bangu kanifanya hivyo.
Mira tuone uti.
Kosea sote kwa sababu mtoto anajua hawezi kunyakulia.
Okay, can you see? No?
Nah, they're too small.
Lakini makosa.
Abandimai watu manje she's trying to
able to like to defile because that's defilement because the lady is she was below 18. Yes. To defile her own blood.
You can't see. They're too small.
Not twice, know.
Okay, that one is impossible to see.
You can't see. You go South Africa, Amuna.
You go South Africa, yakanyanya kureba and so forth. So I thought I will put this one. I just wanted something small.
Okay.
Chiri short.
I was pregnant a total of 4 times with 1 abortion. I have 3 children with my father. I was 16 years old when I became pregnant with my first daughter. I was 21 years old when I was pregnant with my second daughter. 24 years old with my third daughter. He used to mark down my period cycles and I was late. I was shocked and I was happy, but I was confused as well. When I gave birth to my first child, it was very scary. It was intense. They asked who the father was. I said I didn't know. The sexual abuse continued during the pregnancies. He raped me, but he would not beat me as much. I would still get beat. I would still get my hair pulled. I would still get smacked. One time when I was pregnant with my youngest daughter, I was about 7 months pregnant, and he tied my hands behind a chair, put a bag over my head, and just suffocated me. I felt like I died and I came back. My first daughter was born. She was like, my little angel. I just wanted to protect her. She was just my little friend because I had nobody. So all I did was, play with her. I was really happy, but yet I was really sad because I didn't know what was gonna, become of us.
But what will happen to these children, really?
So you gave birth to 3 of your dad's, I can't say that word. You gave birth to 3 of this monster's children.
Correct.
He is a monster.
You had 1 abortion.
Mm-hmm. He is a monster. They are monsters when they are doing this thing.
Who are how old now?
21, 17, and 14.
These children are grown up, can you
17
believe?
And 14. And
where are the interviews where we can get these children who were born from a sister
gave you
who
purpose,
became a mother?
That's right.
Gave you purpose to exist, survive, get through this. How did it change when you had a child?
Changed my well-being as well, being in the house by myself, having nobody else to lean to, talk to.
It sounds like
What would you do
Huh?
sounds
to
like there was no
cope? Would
mother.
you try
Yeah,
to
she
make
was just with
nice
the
with
father,
him?
just
Did
the two of
you
them.
pretend you were a
Yeah.
family? What did you do?
Pretend I was a family, trying to be nice, always be on his good side. Even
So
as
he
far
took
as to having
advantage of
sex
that
or
in the
whatnot,
really.
I knew that he
I
was
hope
going to do it
he went
anyway,
to
so I
jail for
wouldn't,
this.
try to fight him off all the time. I would just let him have his way, so that it would be easier and get it over with and go on
Sad,
about my
really,
day.
sometimes what happens
As
behind these four walls.
perverse as this sounds, and I have to ask this because I want to get everything on the table because I want to help you. Were there times that you convinced yourself that you enjoyed this in any way? Were there times where you found pleasure in a given instance that you thought, well, that was okay?
No, I would try to tell myself it was okay, but it never felt okay.
Which I mean, you tried to tell yourself, well,
myself.
this was okay. This is like husband and wife.
Right. But deep down inside, I knew it wasn't okay. Just like my everyday life, I know that my
You're
past
welcome, my
and my
brother.
girls are
I
not
wish
okay,
you
but I have to
understood,
live as
Shona.
if it's okay.
Wow. Yeah, so I think ipapapo ndipo pano what I've heard listening to like my true crime.
My family was the
sorry.
typical family that was out there. I like to think we were a happy-go-lucky family.
My dad, David, was a great dad. I loved him. I remember him always tickling us, playing Barbie.
Sorry about
So
that.
no, I was saying kuti from interviews I've heard of vana vakabatwa na baba vavo vese vanotaura kuti he would say like kuti this is how daddies love their kids, this is how it is, but they say they always vainzwa kuti there's something that's not, it doesn't feel
It
right.
doesn't sit right, yeah. It doesn't.
And some of them didn't know better until one said she went to a friend's house, but the interaction was different. That's when she started thinking, maybe it's not normal. Maybe that's not how daddies are supposed to act. Because iwo vaimuudza kuti this is how daddies show their love. So she didn't know any better. And some of them, don't forget, some of them, they start really early, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years. They don't wait until mwana 11, 10, 12. And then there was a father who got custody of Vanawake to America. And he was telling the other one, if you don't give in, I'll do it to your sister. Telling the other one, if you don't give in, I'll do it to your sister. So for years, they didn't know that both of them, he was doing it. They thought they were protecting the other one. So they never spoke to each other. So
until what? Until they fall pregnant?
No. Lucky enough, that didn't happen. But until they were, was it 13 or 14? And then they went to stay with their grandma. And for summer, the father's sister said, I would like them to come to just spend time with us. We haven't seen them for some time. So they went there for holidays. And then when they were due to go back, the sister then said, the younger sister broke down and she didn't want to go. She was like behind with school. She was having problems with school. So the then said, ndichagara neuyu mudiki ndichimbatsira nezvezvikoro saka anyozouya iwe chienda wega. So when she heard she was going by herself, she said, saka ndoenda ndega, handisisina umwe munhu anonga ndinaye. And then she akatanga kuchema kuti musandisiya ndega ndinaye ndina baba. That's when everything came out.
Kuti baba vanga vachidai vana.
Yes. So his sister called the police
on him.
Yeah. And he went to prison.
Good for her.
And he went to prison.
I think ipapa panotinetsei, you know, ukatasa pane iri apa, I think ingangove maybe like the way they do pama shows, but I don't know whether that's true. Kuti nemwana wacho anenge akutodawo baba asade kuti mai vavepo.
Yeah, because I think it's noitika because musakangamauti it's manipulation. Vana vanoshandisa manipulation. So sometimes no gumza zvakuita like competition, because I actually remember watching something where the girl was molested na sekuru wake. Was it the mother's father? And then she reached a stage where now she was saying to her sekuru, because the father was not really reliant, the mother had to work, so she used to leave the kids.
And churungu full time now.
Sorry. I see vana na baba wake. Because I saw that one say, I really enjoy your program, and he said he doesn't understand Shona. So
I know he doesn't understand Shona Francis, but it's a Shona one, so it's a Shona program.
Anyway, sorry.
But because we put a lot of English, and it didn't say, and that's why I put 1 + 1 together.
Okay. So anyway, sakawaisia vana na sekuru wavo kuti vachengete ivo vachienda kubasa. But sekuru then started kubata vana. And then musikana yakati asvika isetine zvinobva atanga kuti kuna sekuru exchanging kuti ndinorara nemi munganipa mari, ndinorara nemi mungaita so, mukareka ndinokureverai.
Akaita turn the tables on him. So, but he said she should just self-report it instead of continuing with her.
No, because she was using it to get my favors from him, whatever she wanted. So then in that case, she then feels like he and I am
in control of this gig.
Yeah.
This gig.
But not really.
Now look at this girl here. I know maybe ingangove iri parents by. But this shows Zedi, Zana, Steve Wilson, Nana, Jeremy, whatever. But
right?
Yes.
Okay, and you're sleeping with your father. You proved to us that this is actually a true story. This isn't something you made up. You took a lie detector test.
Yes, I did.
And you're the one who insisted on taking it.
Mm-hmm.
Do those things work?
Telling the truth as far as you sleep.
My lie detector test.
I'm tired of
with most people, but some people it doesn't. They can beat it.
It's been a secret for 9 months now. And
you've been sleeping with your father for 9 months.
Yes. And we are actually in a relationship.
Why did I say this one? That wounds what why Baba Varfun to Kurani Mano Kuroke, Miron's
like he's also my dad, and it's wrong because to me it's not.
And you see a future with your father?
Yes, I do.
But akakurana baba wake.
No. Yeah, I think akakurana mai. Boss reason is why baba to say that kurana is not a
No, I thought for her to think like that because she didn't grow up with her dad.
Continue with this show. You probably need to see a doctor and get some kind of therapy and really some in this case, we have a father who not only preys upon his own daughter, takes advantage of her.
Just hear what the father says.
Are you sleeping with her?
Yeah, but you're
First of all, why are you
Get the hell
out of my chair?
diaper.
Get the hell out of my chair.
I never raised her. I never changed her diapers.
Listen,
I have never fed her.
Stand up out of my chair.
I have never done any of that.
Has never done any of that, so he has jumped to being the boyfriend.
There you go.
I'm giving her a better life.
You're giving her a better life?
Yeah, of course I am.
You were supposed to give her a better life, to sleep with
We're
her.
in love. Okay?
You should love your daughter.
Out of all my past relationships, I have never, ever got along with anybody so good in my life. And she's just everything I always wanted. And it just happens to be, by blood, she's my daughter.
Oh.
But Morgan, on some level,
how sick is it?
You have to admit what you're doing is wrong.
No.
I find this story one of the most disturbing stories I've done since I've had my show. Being a father myself, this sickens me. I think about my own children. And
Evil
I think
spirit.
about what Morgan's doing to his daughter. And it repulses me.
Africans
Do you ever think
do
like,
this,
I
my
gotta get out
brother.
of this?
They do
It's
it.
there in
Never crossed your
Africa.
mind.
They sleep with them.
Somebody failed you. Your mother, your father,
I'm trying to
whoever
think. Apana
was in charge
yeshona
of you
apana kana
to raise you,
dziriko ku
to
Nigeria
instill
dzimwe dzandaona
morals
apa.
and values
Yeah?
and make good decisions, they failed you. The fact remains, you have a man that is your biological father who is taking advantage of you, who is preying upon you, and that will do you nothing but harm. The physical good feelings that you're feeling, that only lasts for a while. That doesn't last forever, and that's enough. That's not enough to bond two people together forever. You're going to wake up one day and say, what the hell am I doing? And you're going to grow to hate me. I only wish for you that someday that you'll see that somebody steps in your life, snaps you out of this bad dream, that you'll get to enjoy your life, and you're going to look back and you're going to say, man, I destroyed my daughter's life.
Yeah, and pane story andakaona pama crime lokuze nangu. So
Inzwan's African don't do this. Oh no, they do. They
no,
do.
That's what I was telling him. The Africans do it.
My brother, there's even a Nigerian one, not in Nollywood, but true. Let me even look for it.
No,
brother,
Africans do it.
It's everywhere.
It
Even
happens
African
everywhere.
West.
No, no. Do you know what it is? Because of family bond, yeah. Vanobva vaitora vaifila as if it's a romantic bond. Ndosaka mchizoona kuti vamwe vanhu vanonga vakaroorana and then they find out kuti they are brother and sister, maybe same father, whatever. Because when they met, there was some sort of bond that was there. And because they didn't know each other, they assumed it was romantic. But actually it was not. It was knowing that they were somehow related to each other somehow. So iripo imwe way, this guy and his young wife, they were 17 she was 16, 17 when he got together with his girlfriend, auntie. And then they got pregnant, but they couldn't afford kuti vachengete mwana, so they vakadecida kuti vaise mwana kuadoption, anga ari musikana. So nobva vaendesa mwana kuadoption. And then 18 years later, the girl knew she was adopted, so she wanted to ada kutsvaga kuti akabvepi. So she then akatsvaga akawana baba vake namai vake vanga vachiri vese, nokubva aenda akakumbira kuvhizita. So she then went and stayed with them, auntie. But then mai vacho vakati but there was something a bit funny. I started sensing something a bit funny in the way that they were like relating with each other. Ndengoti ndikauya vanhu vanonga vachita kunge like vanobva vanyarara or suddenly stop doing something or like there's something going on. Then she found out kuti no, there was vanga vachitorara vese. And she left and she went to the police. In pavaigara panga pane law yokuti you are not allowed, it's against the law. So then, and the girl now akaita nhumbu.
Which girl now?
Mwana wacho.
The adopted one.
Yes.
How did she fall pregnant? Was she sleeping with the? She slept with the dad.
With her biological dad, and she went to look for a biological parents. But when she found a biological parent, she lived with them. But then mama wacho akazonyuma kuti pane chinhu chiri kuitika pa between murume wangu nemwana wedu.
Oh, right, okay.
So then mwana akaita nhumbu. The mom left him, but she told the police. Sapa vaigara state yacho yanga isingabvumiri ma relationships akadaro. It was against the law. So then they ran away and they had a kid together. But then now mwana uyaya was like, now like she's coming a bit to her senses. But the police were after them. So then she went to my parents' ake, adopted. And they spoke to her. So she then said no. handisi kudzoka. This is hazvisi right zvatiri kuita. So she realized kuti chi
vatanga atone mwana.
Yeah.
Inini the thing is ndoda kuziva kuti vana veincestor what mentally.
What I'd like to know is interview vana vacho kuti how do they feel.
How handizive kuti kana warara nababa wako iwewe is your father, is the grandfather as well as the father of your child. You are a sister and the mother to your child.
Yeah. Yes, biologically, yes.
Wow.
Because long as studies about DNA.
Wow. Ndaita yekuverenga iri yekuZimbabwe manje iri pai. We have been together for 6 years and have 2 kids. People who have committed incest explain why. And it's one of the biggest sexual taboos and one that's outlawed around the world, but it still happens. Incest, sexual relations between 2 closely related people. I think our brother and sister. One woman said she ended up fathering 2 children with their brother and they all live happily, while others say they've been mentally scarred by their forbidden encounters. How do you call Vanava and how do you call each other? How do you address?
No, they just take it. Until you saw that man, he justified it as I didn't change her nappy. So andisi baba wake nokuti ndandisipo andina kutora nzvimbo yababa andina kumbotamba nzvimbo yababa saka andina kumboita baba and andisi baba wake. Tongofanana nokuti takangosangana sevanhu who just happens kuti tine ropa rakafanana but
anti-flow ari kureva kuti absent fathers can come and sleep with their children and there's no problem with that.
No, but this is a sick guy trying to justify his thing. And
what's justifying nonsense?
But mwana kuti aite what that guy was saying, Steve, is true. This guy is preying on her. She's always felt this is why like mnona vaskana vachita varume vane 60 years yane 16 mukatarisa mwana wacho munoona kuti pasina father figure in their life, or they always felt like they were missing something, a father figure. So they'll look for men who are older, or in this case, in her case, akawana baba wake, but instead of having a normal relationship with the father, akatanga kuta but the father is taking advantage of it. He is taking advantage of her.
Saka, when they do these things, still, the thing is why. I know it inogona kuna machitiva rume, but vakadzi they are also doing it, marrying their sons, and that one even a child. But maybe the percentage of women who are going through this, doing it, is lower than that of men who have produced and seared children with their children. And then my tabana mume went on to the grandchildren. Baskana from the daughter.
No, they do that because apana boundary here. So anorara mwana wake owaitisa vana orara nevana vayo vaita futi vese.
But that's almost like we become animals.
No, there's a case akadaro akarara nemwana wake akaitisa mwana, and then vana vanga vaita nawo his grandchildren stroke children nawo akatanga kurara nawo futi. These people have no boundaries because usually mapedophiles mukatarisaka even achirara nevana vake, you find that also there are kids outside vari kurara navo, or kana pane vana vari kurara navo outside, you find if you trace backwards there's kids in the family that he's sleeping with. So pane something chisiri right psychologically with the people. We can never explain it, we can never understand it because that's not how it is. But some of it is explained by the fact that it's a familiar bond that is there, that is they're not recognized, and they think it's a romantic bond. Actually they are biologically related, and then also okay, no, we are related. But you see the father's mentality is the exact mentality as the story I was telling you about. but he ended up killing the child.
Oh. To cover his thing.
To give her pain.
But kanafa pain
and kill her. Yeah, he was going to kill her as well, the girl.
Wow.
So then what then happens is iwe vanojustify kuti handina kukudza handisi baba vako, dai ndakakudza dai ndiri baba vako, but hazvipo zvese izvo.
Ko kana makasiya maisa mai vangu nhumbu mukaenda maindikudza kuti makadi kuzodzoka kuzondikudza instead yokuzozonita a wife. That's where the question is. Kana kuti hauna kuchinja mwana wediapers, handiti he says handina kumuchinja, handina kumufeedha, handina kuti say. So for him they are strangers. But when it comes to it, vana vanozvarwa vacho sometimes they come defect, vane madefects akasiyana siyana because it's same genetics guys.
That is why a lot of countries put it in the law not to be allowed, because it was happening a lot. I remember Tirukumba, we had a Canadian girl come and stay with us. Akati aishanda muma asylum. Aisiwa. And a lot of them mangwariwa anaiwa ma products they insist, and a lot of them had my defects so, which is why a lot of countries had outlawed historically kuti zvisabvumidzwa because of that very fact. Because genetically mukaramba muchita muri like related, ndosaka ma royal families muno they are related, all of them. A lot of them, there was something wrong genetically with some of them because they were all interrelated. Why circle around the same genetic
cousin of cousin and whatever and joining there?
Yeah. So yes, it does cause, which is why a lot of places vakaunza mtemo yokuti hanzi hazvibvumidzi for that very reason, because they were saying zvazvikonzera ma genetics asiri right mu society. Right, which is why a lot of them did.
Okay. Wow. Hakuna atipa ma comments kunzota takamira pamwe mujoine nhasi platform yaanti tafani asi inozara nokuti inyaya inotonakidza fani nokusuwisa, because I don't know what the future yevana ava kuti vanozofungeiko pamberi apa. Unozonzwa kunzi mwana akangouya akatora banga akauraya mai vake akaita sei, vanhu wonder kuti what was happening. Maybe if you dig deep munoona pane this type of relationships kuti anenge afunga manje kuti maybe someone says something outside there and triggers, you know, that side yokuti ati sure you are my mother, you are my sister, how did it happen? So you allowed it to happen. Anenda nouraya baba ivava vakaita izvo suppose mwana but to have 3 children,
they will know though. No, auntie, it's the mentality. Auntie Monati Muskana, it was happening until she was in her 20s and she had 4 pregnancies with her dad. And I was telling you the other one also, she was in her 20s and she had 5 pregnancies with her dad and 4 surviving kids. Obviously.
But
also remember, they're also growing up in the place dysfunctional. Saka, they don't know any better because they were not allowed to go anywhere. They were not going to school. They were not interacting with anyone. They were just interacting in the family pub. Saka wanga wasingazi any better, any different. Now is when they'll start. But when she did the film, they never showed her kids to protect them.
To protect them.
Yeah. She akataura, so it's not really protection, but akataura, she came out and said her story because she said aruda kutaura kuti to help others vanonga vaenda through it, that you can survive.
Saka kana variko kumba uku kumusha kwedu sekuZimbabwe muri kuita izvozvo zvakashata, kuti muti mwana nyange ndokunzi hauna kuchengeta mwana wako chete nokuti ropa rako harina kuchinja nokuti hauna kuchinja madhaipa or hauna kutamba naye ari mudiki. And also this business of mwana anouya muri naked in the morning achijambira mumubhedha and you allow it, a 4-year-old, even 3, even 2, actually 2, vanatomazuva twangwarisa, a 2-year-old jumps into your bed in the morning. Most of you munorara muri Adam na Eve, naked in the paradise. Moregedza mwana achipinda, you don't even cover your nakedness. It needs to be covered in pajama, but also to stop it happening kuti mwana anouya kumubhedha kwenyu anofanira kunoka kuti ndopinda here. Teach them young. vadzidzise vachiri vadiki kuti haungouyi uchijamba usisiri mwana mudiki. But you find vamwe venyu na 7 years 8 years ari kujamba tuya mubhedha muri naked and achiguma whatever, futi they always want to come in the middle. And then you don't even cover your nakedness kati muti mira, and you wear your boxer short, daddy, and mama.
It's easy how to you have to before unonoka and aupindi until one one's come in before you go in.
Exactly. Vana venyu kana muri kuti vamujambe in, fine, no problem. But vana venyu vadziseti vanoke, it gives you an opportunity kuti muve decently, clothed. So that nyangwa akajambira mumubhedha, you are both not naked as you were. Nokuti kana muri naked, mwana akapinda, imimi mukurara ne 6-year-old, 5-year-old, 7-year-old, yukuyazotamba nemimomo musina hembe. What is it that you are trying to teach that child? Mukudzidzise chi? And what really?
But in what I wanted to ask, pane case yananga kuzati, pane two actually, pane wana yakaitika isusu tiri kumbandi. Yakaitika a girl that we knew that we went to school with.
Yeah.
But yanga iri stepfather, but it's the same as her father because he brought her up.
Yeah.
So baka molesta to the point where she kind of lost it. Akampinam asylum Ngucheni. Ngucheni yokubulawayo. So the mother found out. But mai wake vakachuza kusati baba wacho wasaenda ku prison.
Ku prison.
Because she said he was the provider.
Was it right?
That's what I'm saying. As a mother, how do you justify that? No. So mwana akagumza aita, and this uti mwana yakagumza avepi because she lost it and she went to because she got pregnant. How it came out, she got pregnant. And then the mom found out it was the stepdad, and they made her have an abortion.
Stepdaddy.
And they made her have an abortion.
Yeah.
That's when she lost it. And the mom did nothing. They told her to keep quiet, not tell anyone.
That was wrong.
So then she went akaenda Ngucheni for like a year, I think, or something. She was in Form 1, Form 2. And then she came back out. It continued.
No way.
Akazodzokera futi because anga akudayo kurepa mukomana mu street. Because vakataura nemukomana she became loose.
Okay.
That's one of the byproducts. Sometimes they become sexually promiscuous. So then akabvumirana, I think, nemukomana kuti tukuenda kumba tunoita business. And then I think the guy now started changing his mind. Akati akwete shamwari kana wabvuma wabvuma. So
sorry.
So she then had to go back. Okay. So that's when now we found out, people in the neighborhood now found out. Wow. But mai vakaramba kuti baba
vaende. But mai vakakanga, I think mai vakakanganisa. I think when I don't know, we will know why she did that. Yes, God help us. I don't know why she chose murume wavo vachiregedza kusaidira mwana when a deed was done. I don't know. I don't understand what was going on in the mind.
Like that. And then there's another case which I read 2 weeks ago. A lady in Kenya. She was writing, asking for advice. Right? She said her husband akawana 9 and 7 girls and a little boy. Yeah, 2 girls, 9 and 7, and a little boy younger, 3. Little girl 9 was bleeding. Then she finally said, "Indeed dead."
Wow.
So confronted the husband. The husband first refused. Then he said, "Yes, he did. I'm so sorry, my wife. I don't know what came over me. It's an evil spirit, blah, 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 blah." And then Anzi, he started having counseling. I miss my husband. Saka atatanga counseling. Ndiendere kumapurisa ndite say I don't ndiri kuda murume wangu.
Bata mwana.
Can he come back, because he's asking him to come back because atanga counseling. Because it's been 4 weeks, you found out Christmas and so on, there's no way atanga counseling. And counseling actually atanga enda anyway. These were comments from people.
But the thing is,
why have you not gone to the police?
Exactly. Why? And also, she's trying to find validation here. Don't come and ask. People know the answer, but they want someone else to say something, maybe, in support of that. They know the answer and they know what they want to do, but they want validation from people.
Anzi, I feel like maybe I don't want to let my daughters down. I feel like maybe I let them down. I'm confused. I don't know what to do. People
What
are like
confusion
confused.
is there? It's black
the
and
police
white.
should have been the first thing where you went to.
Ash.
But then some of these people, what do you say? Because some women have found out and kept quiet because the father is the one who had the money. She didn't work, and they the kids, and they kept quiet and looked aside. Do you then say, yeah, the music producer, the mother found out and looked aside because also she was abused? So do we blame the mom still and say,
no, if she was abused, then she should know better. She wouldn't want a daughter to go through what she went through.
No, the husband was abusive. She was under domestic abuse herself by the husband. Vangawachirara ni mwana. So mwana paakataura kuti baba vari kundibata zvisiri right. She tried kuti uri kuitei mwana. Ndiye akarohwa. And the husband said, if you even try and say anything, if you try and leave, I'll kill you. And ndichaura futi vana. So she stayed and kept quiet.
Ndozvinozoita kuti rimwe zuva muzoona munhu amuka akabaya munhu akafa. Why would you wait to go to that extent? Because kana waitwa prisoner like that, then anoti kundokuuraya. Most of them, the threat is just a threat.
Not really for some of them. Because he molested.
For some of them.
But I molested mskana way until 23-24 when he was caught. 28 or something. 23-24 or something.
Okay, pazo batwa yezvino. Pabatwa yezvino threat.
Mai vachonga vachiripo. Because he was still doing what he wanted, Andy. He was still sleeping with him and having kids.
Wow.
Because she was having kids at home.
But this thing, do you know what, Auntie Flo? One thing is, it's not something of yesterday. This thing has been on and on since time immemorial. And why is it that it's not coming to an end, Society. I'm back. A society which is ruled by men. Society is men. And as long as society deems some things normal by looking the other way, it will continue. Society.
No,
Society is not strong enough.
Yeah. I think takasvika pastage yokuti live and let live. Musapindira zvinhu. Because tikatarisa society zvaiitika kudhara tete kuti vaiti kana murume achirova mukadzi wake vaiti ndezve imba yavo. Musapindira kana mapurisa anga asingapindiri. Mukadzi wake. Like as if like it's his property. He can do what he wants. So I don't really know if our society has become that permissive that hazvisisina basa kana kuti I don't know.
Bosi nombofunga kuti okay, let's hapana chisingapere zvinopera zvichaz. This thing has been going on and on. This thing is not ending.
It won't end.
It's
because
not ending.
There will always be somebody asiri right mumusoro.
Exactly. So you wonder kuti, is there a way out of some of these things that happen? Anyway, Anna,
I think kuisa ma safeguards zvimwe ndizvo zvokuti zvibatsire, like some of us, if we see something, don't keep quiet, say something. But sometimes unonga chichika kupinza munyaya dzevanhu. How about if you are wrong? How about if you are this? Like case yevana vakagumza vanogara natete vavo. Chikoro chaitaura kuti vana vanonga there's something chisiri right, like they're malnourished, hakusi right kumba. But child services yaiudza baba vacho kuti vari kuuya rini. So the father will make sure the kids are clean, the house is clean, vabika some good food, it's smelling nice. And he was sitting there when child services was vachibvunza vana. So vana vaiudziwa zvokutaura nezvokuansa and vanonga vakadzokorwa. So our system also, I think, ndeyeri kufela, because how do you ask mwana possible perpetrator wacho aripo ipapo, and you expect them to be truthful and say kuti iye achiziva kuti tichasara tiri tega?
Haatauri kamwana anongobvunzwa kuti zvakamira sei pana panotaura kuti hatiri right.
Vakataura kuti no, we are okay. They came 3 times, 4 times, whatever. Every time, and vai announce all the time. Saka bachanzi vai make sure that time pavanouya tonga takageza takapfeka nhumbi dziri right.
And also vachiudzwa what to say, and uchinzi ukataura anything unozviziva. So in the end vatopuwa kudhara kuti havana chavanotaura ka, obvious. But is there a way that is we as families, we might not end the whole thing, but kana muri mumba matanga kuita something like that, is there a way of trying to stop it before it goes, or to vana vacho kuti vazive kuti kana vachinzwai there's somewhere where they can go and nothing will happen to them? Is there a way of telling these children kuti kana ukabatwa siri right nditaura neni kana kuti whatever?
There is, because I know kuti like in schools kuno vanotaura about it, and they talk about, they say the advice they give parents is give my body parts certain names. So uchitaura nomwana wako kuti aite away kuti certain places munhu akakubata apa utaure, munhu akakubata apa utaure, hazvisi right, munhu akaita so utaure. So it's opening my lines ecommunity. Sezvataitaura kuti isusu taibatiwa nababa mukuru acho iyawo, but tatisingakwanisi kuenda anotaura. Because tatisina relationship here and my parents that we felt comfortable, any of us, to go and tell them, this is what is happening.
But yes, it's okay, because maybe now it's a bit better. I can't say it's okay, but some families it's very difficult to communicate.
Yeah.
But kana une that relationship never now, even kusvika kwazukuru, they need to know that your door is open. You can tell me anything. And also mwana mfana uzati hakuna mbokuti unditaura sambogara nazvo. If you think these things are not right, feel free. Kana usikakwanisa kutaura neni, taura nambuya wako. Kana usikakwanisa kutaura nambuya wako, ndoda kutaura nasawiri wangu ningi.
That's what I think is the only way to do it. I feel, because I have a friend I got very from when the child was young. She was a single mom. So I was a monakoti. No matter what happens, I always believe you over somebody else. Saka whatever happens, munakakuita anything,
I will believe you. Anyway, Auntie Flo. That's more on fire. Auntie Flo ngaspongwa on fire. Ndula kuti vauye futi zvondunaye kuona kuti vati nhasi fire ndikuona matatu next week ndavasuwa zvokuswa. Ndoda mboita 1 or 2 things. Ndichirumbopekaka. Ndinomboita 1 or 2 things. Asi thanks a lot nhasi. Ndakangoti sandapedza ngaimbotaura zvaitika nhasi. Ndichienda nodriver kwangu uku. Ndaenda nodriver. Pane uchibva pabo, pane ukanga uchiita Stratford usiri on the top part of it. Pane 2-way. Sandainda dropa munhu wangu kwakune West Ham game nhasi. Ndaenda nomudropa kudzoka kwanga ndadropa. Ndakudzoka mashure kwangu kwakune big truck territorial police. Ndobva ndatena right. Vagoramba vachindihutira. Ndopandamisa motikari mubva vauya pasi zvikanzi, madam, don't you know this is a one-way? You're heading towards traffic. Ndikati, no sir, it's a 2-way. Zvikanzi, no. Ndikati, it is a 2-way. Zvikanzi, can you please go there and turn round? So panenda kuti ndo turn around pachi pavanditenda vavatevera mubva vandibloka mashure. Ndomba vauya mubva vasvikonditi, madam, that's a one-way. Ndikati, sir. Ndikati says there were 3 of them wauya kuzondiconfront. Wechifomvu ayazoti ndipo license yako. Mubva ndavapa license. Vandasara nawo 3 zvikandipo insurance. Ndikati ndinayo pano samba ndashaya mudashboard. Mandavati, I think pafoni ndinayo. I will show you on the phone. Vandovaradza on the phone. Ndikati that road is a 2-way. So ndadaro kuti ndifambe bva pamotikari sokuti ndoti, and where do you think you're going? Ngati, I'm trying to think, was I confused? Was I not concentrating that I turned into a road that we're heading towards traffic? This road is a 2-way. As far as I can remember. So you've been there a number of times. That yes. Do you know kuzonyara kwavaita vazoona kuti 2-way? Hey. Yebo. Ndikati kanzi, we are sorry madam. Really forgive us. Ndikati it's a 2-way. You didn't even need to check on the map say. It's there on the ground. You can tell the arrows are showing you where you are going and where you are not going. We are sorry, very sorry, and please forgive us.
I think most of the time, Mutauro to this woman, what is she doing? She's going on a one-way, and then they convinced each other it was a one-way. 4 people, and none of them realized that
they're not even 4. There were 7 or 8 of them in the car. 4 are the ones who came out. The driver was there sitting with someone. The ones who came from behind, and I kept on saying,
4 people confront one woman.
And there's a sign, clear sign that when did that clear sign come there? There's no clear sign there. I would have seen it. Have I done? So I say, are you arguing that I'm on this one? Say, I'm right. I'm arguing because I know I'm right. It's a 2-way. And it's as far as I can remember when I started minicabbing, it has been there 2 ways. And Mapurisa, there was no need for that.
Now, can I please see your license? Because you don't need to know the rules of the road.
You know the rules of the road. Munampurisa, mandi kundimisa mani. So much wanted to go to block up and say, "Mamisa pa, makunuzo to go the wrong way." Because it's the right way, says, can't it's wrong. What? Because it's a 2-way. This one, since I remember, no. And it's that's a police car is going, and another white car is going, and the black taxi is going. Can you see now that it's not a 1-way? So it used to be 1-way. That I've been driving this car, this minicab been coming this way 10 years, and this road has always been a 2-way. When was it a 1-way? So I think it was a 1-way, and that maybe that's before my time, but in my time, I've used this. I've dropped and picked where you've told me to turn a number of times. It's a 2-way. But from there, going towards Stratford, it's a 1-way. But here, going to Bow Roundabout, it's 2 ways.
Maybe I got confused on party actually 1-way.
We are very sorry, Miss Mwati. We are very sorry, Miss. We are very sorry, Miss Mwati. Sorry, Madam. Sorry. We are really sorry. I don't know, but this road used to be uniform sort of right way. Because ari pamberi pangu hesitate mba tena left amira so do ashaya kuenda kumvaso tena left ivo manje varindiridzira mashiro akati ungati watevera uyo ndikati no ndikuenda kumba ndikudzokera this way and I'm going that way ndikati I'm going this way skanzi no I can't you see you're heading towards traffic ndikati which traffic
but inini chinondishamisa ndechekuti why did it need 4 armed police?
Those Vanita, they come out just to threaten you. They threaten. That's a sort of like to unnerve you.
That's not right.
But that's what they always do. To just make you nervous.
That's not right. To me, that's not right. It doesn't sound right.
But 2 people would have been enough, even 1.
One is enough.
One was going to be enough.
Like Kumashure, just out. Just in case.
Mumapa inda banamira ndikungatize ndikaende pimbu yakadai ish ndikati vana ndikati anyway apana vana mutombotye I'm right you are wrong ndikati here I'm right
like wana wanga chari vanopisa musoro anga chavaudza nezvavo
apologize sorry so which way are you going? Don't worry, I'll reverse. I'll turn around and go the way I'm going. Vanga kuda kundibatsira manje kuti ndichirivhesa ndifese the right way ndikati no it's okay you go I will make my way, you know. Ndikati this place has always been like this because my flats they are given an opportunity to go either to Stratford or to go towards Bow, but instead of going all the way around to go and do a U-turn, this is the only place. This little bit is the only place.
But usually arguing with the minicab, I wouldn't argue with the minicab.
Ndikati ndezvenyu zvafunga ndakanganisa ndikati evo manje ndimatokanganisa. But anyway, thanks a lot, Auntie Flo. Dati mapurisa indabva kunetsana vakomana 2 vechirungu kwakunoedzana ndangopeka myself pandaperera basa rangu kuma4 am twaramba kupfeka maski twanzi tiri acute asthma tiri exempting ati mune mainhela zvikanzi hatina ndikati manje
acute asthma say with no
inhaler ndikati inini I'm not trained first aid, so kana musina inhaler zvikanzi you don't even need to ask us kuti ndine exempt here because law says ngati aiwe law in my car says different.
You're supposed to wear your mask now in public places by law.
Hands but we are exempting at mese muri exempt vanhu vechidiki vindaneta nemi ndikati ndiratidze proof kana usina proof hausikuenda ini ndandikutoroiwa haukwiriwo muno tongoita win-win situation. Ndobva buda panze varovera madho vangu vachisweya varivhura futi akuda kunorovera ndabuda panze ndandakapfeka hood top vanaisa maoko angu muhoso vanasvikomera songa what do you think you are doing mbanditi ndikati what don't even dare angadai nereview mira ndikati ndakaenda kujere for this handidi kudzokera futi ndakanatsisa maoko angu muno ini mukati umu ndichibvunda but ndanatsisa chivindi chokuisa maoko angu pakunyepera kuita muhadhu ndofunga vanditarisa kairi vakati mbuya iyi iri kutotita day ndikati stay away ndikati garai kuroko ndikati uye futi padhuze nepanapa uye ndikati uye futi padhuze nepanapa munofunga ndina kuti ndiri mukadzi ende ndofunga ndachembera don't you dare and stay there mandavhara madho wangu ndikazobata ndikati please handisi kuda kudzokera kujeri sorry kana takangasa like that but makurumidza kukata kubvisa basa chichi kati nyangu yakusora ndigarira pano dzakazara pandapo unodedza imwe inouya kuira ndakaisa maoko angu muno
anobva watya akapfeka hood
mubleki mbuya ikapfeka ndikati pfeka hood ndikava ndanatsomira ndikati enda ndiri confident nekuti izvozvo kana ukadaiwo tinotiza but you know what ndatovadaro havachatomboita anything ndikati chimwe chacho chikokusorora anditapfirwa nambuya nasekuru ngati muchiri kuitei makadhakwa kudorora mafirwa nasekuru nambuya mamuchidhakwa muri komadi kuenda kunhamo yambuya nasekuru ndikati don't you even dare angakuda kudzoka futi ndikati mwacho mbati stop it man, stop what you're doing aona kuti mbuya inogona kutovaita karate vanadzoka mumotikari mangu mandapinda ndakuzodzoka zvangu mandavashauta mandadriva mandaenda ndikati ndikasadai panapa vanhu ungase madhoo angu akavhurika ndamboda kwati ndamuti come ndamboda kuti uyavhara madhoo nicely close them nicely ndambofunga ndikeza ndida ngati I'm stretching it too far ndikandizvivarire madhoo angu ndigadzire mira rangu ndivaudza kuti don't even dare touch vandaloka saka aona ndapinda kusaidi kumotikari akumhanya mva mwachamubvisa bhozi ndanda kutotanga kuda kunyepera kuvhura dhoo kuti ndikumuire mva mwachamubvisa kuti anga kuda kutanga kuvhura dhoo futi but ndandatiya mandaloka madhoo ndikati basa iri
vana vamazuva ano
vakaoma anyway hama dzangu kayo inyaya ndada kuti mumbosekawo asi tango sezvo tachingotaura zviri serious kudaizvo but anyway
musatipinza kujera kumana muuye next week nokuti azoyazoya tiri kudzokera kujere
takuadirwe nemunhu ngonyepera vhundutsira so kuti tikwanirei apa ndavavhundutsira ndikati ungatoregedza madhuano
toyakuzokutsvagai precious kumba tiri kudzokera
I know precious nhasi haana kuuya vese namemory. I hope you are okay guys. Hamuna kupinda nhasi ndofunga hope Sunday nyiri right fun. Auntie Flo, thanks a lot.
But usually play anoona later anyway normal.
Saka next week handizive ndoda mbosiyirawo Auntie Flo ndoda kumbopawo daring. Next week ndimune chigaro. Auntie Flo ari kukunzira nyaya inonakidza next Sunday.
Tatsvaga nyaya inonakidza.
Musi wechitatu tiri kukontinya hama dzangu. We are going to put in pasapa nezve 21st February movement iri yeMother Tongue Day. Tine mapackets ezvakadaiwo zvakadai zvada kupa vana kuhwina vana vachihwinawo tichivatumira zvikubva kuna tete Gire tete Flo. Tinenge tichipa vana masweets amusingavabvumire ndobasa ranambuya natete machocolates. Saka dati vana venyu vagozoteedzera program muchaitora motaura navo toida kunzwa kuti chishona chavo chapapi ndo nyaya iripo kuno kutaura kuno kutsika
nechindevere please nechindevere
nechipalanga kana kune vanokwanisa kuzonzwa kuti vari kuti chii. We want all languages dzinotaurwa muZimbabwe dziuye pano kuti tiite converse
vanonzwa chindevere saka uyai nechindevere.
Saka muunze vana, trenai vana venyu, techitumirawo matokeni iwayaya. Mune zvakangosiyana-siyana, tete Gire vangotenga kungoti vanhu ndezveChristmas zvakasarira, so vanhu vanodya machocolates, chocolate aya. Totumira vana kuti vadye. Also there are complimentary 5 books dzenguva yengano tina mbuya narudo, 5 complimentary books dzatechipa. Saka tiri kuita program yacho, please watch out for it. Toda kuisa kupi zviya, kunonzi kunoiswa maprogram enu. Inonzi chizviya imwe inoitiswa inoshandiswa ameno, inonzi chizviya inoshandiswa maneti chiko zviya. Hauizivewo here? Kunonzi chiko kunoiswa ma-invites uku. Eventbrite. Saka tichaisa Eventbrite, tichaisa invite ikoko kuti vana venyu vagoya participate, tozokutumira link. Vana vanouya as per groups age. Nokurisiva kwatetaita oro munotiita inbox, mafone number ari apo, munoenda kuWhatsApp moti inbox ati mwana wangu ari kuparticipate. Tine 3 already, they're different, but we want 10. Saka pachine room for 7 more. So guys, rush. Any ages from 4 years to 15. Tinotumirawo ma-consolation prize. So rush and put vana venyu vakateta vakawanda, the better. Tongoisa category 1 by 1 for every 20 minutes. Vana vecategory vanopinda vobvunza mubvunzo vachipindura neshona nanatete, then vopindura nechindevere or nekalanga, whatever language they are speaking. Then vanhu movavhotera kuti vaita number 1 ndani, tete vachitumira. All right. Tinotumira ma-present kumba, vodya ma-chocolate. Is just a token of appreciation. Saka tikuda kucelebrate this year, that day. Tichingoendera mberi netsika dzedu, mazvoona kana baba aiwa zvevana vasikana, mwana wako munopinda sego ipapo, just like zvataingotukawo varume kuti vakadzi kuti munoita sei kuti mwana apinde ipapo. Izvozvo it's taboo, it's an incest, it's a global taboo, and it's still happening. Brother, sister, mother, son, father, daughter. It's not nice. It has to stop. That's why this world is corrupt. It's not even just environment. It's also the way we are living, say animals, which is causing all this. Tirima animals, so asingatarise kuti uyu. Animal inongotora ka baby chete. Ndo zama kungoita kuti baby aiwa. Ngatisiyane nazvo. All right, Auntie Flo. Topesa zvedu anditi. Mune closing one here.
Aiwa, hapana.
All right. Okay, guys.
Nice kuepo after some time. It's been
Maita henyu vanga vachingodongorera vachimbogara mbichana city chitonhora, tafunga kuti masiti anga achidziya, but tofunga kuti tagara nesu.
Mamusina china, vanhu vanga vasina mamuna kuita coffee.
Meno tinasi hatina coffee, nasi tine mvura. Nokuti hazi. Next time toita coffee ndatotenga coffee thing ichima kuti popota tichita coffee. Dzanyirira kudai tichimwa coffee. Next time munoya tomwa coffee. Taanacho checoffee pano. All right guys, 2022 tiripo pakugadzirisa nyaya. Ngatigadzirisei zvinhu. Tinozviita
ana tete anozati tinotaura sezvazviri.
Tinotongokuudzai nyange mukauya muchinongorera muchigara mbichana tozati muchanzwa chete. Nezita raJesu tati muve nesvondo rakanaka. Muropa regwayana rive pamusoro pemumwe nemumwe muchengetedzwa, hama dzangu tese nemhuri, kunenge kune vana kwavanenge vatese, tinongoti thank you so much. Vese vangu vari pano, thank you my brother Francis. Nyange wotodzidza Shona, you are learning Shona slowly. You've been expecting 6 months. Musina kuenda kuchikoro. Then we will call you here to speak Shona. Thank you so much, and tosangana musi wechitatu muna Tete Gire taura nezve language. We love you, and our signature bye-bye. We are kissing you today, and God bless you, God everybody, and we pray for protection in Jesus' name.